Greetings from Citizen Health and the Team Academy IAPSME Connect. And today, in the series of People's Health at Matter, we have Dr. Sachin Videsai, who is an associate professor in Department of Community Medicine, SN Medical College, Bagalkot, Karnataka. A warm welcome to you, sir, on behalf of all the audience.
Namaste. Namaste, Mrs. Situ, and I thank IAPSM for eConnect for giving me this opportunity to be part of this event for the second time.
Thank you, sir. And today we are going to talk on preventive geriatrics. Right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm starting the session with my first question that what is preventive geriatrics, sir?
It's a branch of geriatrics wherein preventive measures are predominantly adopted and elderly persons are addressed through preventive measures or strategies, which includes predominantly non-pharmacological interventions, where interventions are done with natural ways or preventive approaches. So there are many approaches which we would be discussing in the session. Predominantly, it includes music therapy, being amidst nature, laughter and reminiscence, and intergenerational engagement programs, which we will go in and discuss in detail in the
Right. So
coming.
it means we are going to talk about that phase which is before medication. Like before medication, how can we prevent the elder people, or what preventive measure we can take for geriatric patients, right, sir?
It's actually said prevention is better than cure, and 1 ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, which is said by Benjamin Franklin. And it's also been said that a stitch in time saves nine. We'll definitely one stitch at a optimum time can save nine other stitches. So hence, prevention always stands as a first approach to control in the long run. The long-term disease can be controlled. So hence, definitely prevention is a better option than cure in senior citizens.
Right, sir. So what all interventions come in preventive geriatrics?
In preventive geriatrics, we have four predominant interventions. One is intergenerational engagement, where we have grandparents and grandchildren interacting with each other through various approaches in the modern day. The second approach is nature therapy, wherein we have forest walks, being amidst nature, gardening, and forest bathing. So I'll be telling in detail about what they are. The third intervention is music therapy, and the fourth one is reminiscence and laughter therapy. So these are the four predominant interventions which we can use or rather apply to seniors, which has got immense benefits on health, on long-term illnesses, and that has definitely got an impact on controlling large number of morbidities.
Very interesting to know. So I would like to know, sir, that what is intergenerational program?
The intergenerational engagement program is one wherein we have grandparents and grandchildren interacting with each other. So, what is this interaction? Is that the grandparents, when you always see when you have a grandparent and a grandchild, the grandfather would or the grandmother would definitely feel happy, and from internally they would be joyous. So, during the illnesses, when there's an interaction between when we have a grandchild in front of them, maybe a person living with dementia or a caregiver who is very much stressed or who generally a senior citizen, when they come in contact with each other, the happiness quotient or the happy hormones would be released in the senior citizens. Similarly, the age old experience of the senior citizens would be transmitted to this child through the interactions. So there will be dual approaches. One, the senior would be benefited if he is having early signs of Alzheimer's or mild cognitive impairment. What we would see is the child would teach the grandpa about using digital equipment, okay, in this COVID era. So they would teach them the use of mobile applications or other playing chess or Sudoku on a mobile. If it's a COVID era, if they are at a distance, if they are just besides each other, then they can interact, which is live and which is the biggest gift that a grandparent can give to a grandchild, which we see day in and day out as parents even today. So this age old concept which is prevalent in India is emerging as a new method to address cognitive impairment or to prevent the decline of cognitive reserve. So, how do I put it in simple terms? Is that uh, dual interaction would be having mutual benefits to the elderly and to the younger child as well.
Very
So,
true,
thus
sir. And
increasing bonding,
sorry, that's
thus increasing the bonding between each other and transmitting different cultures from different generations together.
right, right. I truly feel that because I am so much connected with my grandmother and grandfather. And what is the next thing that nature therapy and what its benefits are?
Ma'am, being amidst nature, being has an immense benefit. You have seen when we see us when a senior citizen or any age group for that matter takes a fragrance of a flower, when they look at the different colors, definitely there are different stimuli. It may be visual, it may be olfactory. The smell. So when all these they stimulate the impulses, which will regenerate or rather would help in reminiscence. Okay, like if they at a particular time had used to go for walks, they could recall those events, and it would totally rewire certain neurons. This is the same with music as well, but I would first highlight on nature therapy. So taking long brisk walks, then being amidst nature. So I was just mentioning about forest bathing. So it's not exactly taking bath in the forest. It's actually like how we say, when we are totally amidst nature, uh, when we are in the mist, we say that hum or when we are in the sunlight, hum dhoop sek rahe hain. When we say that, we are actually not eating it. We are just being in the presence. So like that, when we are in the presence of Mother Nature, nature heals. We always know that when in the previous era they used to make people sit under the tree and then meditate, and then even healing would be in the trees. So when such events are happening, there are many physiological changes that occur in the body. Stressors like the sympathetic overactivity would calm down. Then positive hormones like serotonin, then other dopamine, and then negative hormones would come down and dopamine would increase, and then even oxytocin for that matter would increase, and then it would help in healing. So many allergic reactions would come down when they are amidst nature. Then any stress related events would come down because the person's mind, his uh, his thoughts would calm down. He would be a calmer person, and he would not have that stress factor, which is totally relieved being in nature. So being amidst nature at regular intervals. So they are
Yeah.
prescribing nature in UK as of now. So there are
Great, sir.
immense benefits. Yeah, there are immense benefits of being amidst nature.
Right, great. And what is the role of music, sir? Actually, music is the thing which enjoys by everyone, like kids, elder, everyone, but especially in elderly. What is the role of it, sir?
So remember, each person would have listened to some part of music, or they would have enjoyed some music in their old days or in their years. So by taking a detailed history from their caregivers or their spouse or their relatives, what music they enjoyed, and when we play the same music, every neuronal circuit that was active then during the happy times would be rewired, and we could stimulate the reminiscence. That's the reminiscence therapy through music, through intergenerational engagement, through nature therapy, which are positive reinforcements during healing. They would quickly heal. Mantras, religious mantras, or rather some fond music that they listen to, definitely have a positive impact. They would totally begin moving their head, or just trying to put one or two steps that they did in their yesteryears, which will have recalling of the remote memory. So these are the few benefits. So music is enjoyed by everyone, and it has immense benefits. It heals.
Right. And what are the health benefit of non-pharmacological interventions?
So when I say music therapy, nature therapy, and many other interventions like intergenerational language, what happens in music and nature is There are certain negative symptoms in dementia or in aging process. Like in the evening, the individual becomes agitated or aggressive. Or there's something known as sun down phenomena. Okay, like as the sun goes down, the person becomes irritable. So when we are applying music, when we are keeping a bunch of flowers next to the person, so through the olfactory, that's the nasal aroma, the fragrance, or through the sound that they hear, the calming music makes them relaxed. So the multiple episodes of agitation and aggression would come down, which can prevent the negative symptoms of dementia, and thus medicine related side effects in treating this can come down. So we are having dual benefits. He will recall, and he will also have reduced side effects because of taking medicines to prevent these negative effects.
Right, sir. So, what all morbidities or disease we can say of the elderly can be addressed by non-pharmacological interventions?
So all the diseases related to stress, may it be hypertension, diabetes, cardiovascular events that can be happening in the future can be prevented by reducing the stress levels. Then negative symptoms in dementia can be controlled. Healing can be better through better music. So every age group could also be benefited. So basically, all the stress related events, negative symptoms in dementia are predominantly controlled or rather helpful through music.
Very true. We all know that stress can affect all these health conditions, but we never thought in this angle that by reducing stress we can prevent these type of disease also. So, how to practically implement non-pharmacological interventions?
So let us take one example. You ask them the history of what music they enjoyed in the youth, which I just mentioned. So once we get that, playing this music or similar kind of music over a period of time, like for example, thrice a week or four times a week, whenever in the evening time, can prevent the negative symptoms. Similarly, like the diseases, when there is lots of pain, when there is stress, and when there is healing is required, music would definitely play a role. So it would reduce the pain intensity and it would help in better healing over a long period of time. So these are a few benefits which we have observed, and there are two places in India. One is in Bhopal, and second one is in Kerala, which they are using this as a practical application. So I would just want to quote. I haven't taken their permission, but I would want to quote it. I would inform them by call. But there's a uh, forest therapy or nature therapy, which is known as Sehat One. This is by one senior doctor who is practicing this. So all the details I'll share on in the YouTube link below. But it has got immense benefits, and they have been shown how music and nature therapy has benefited them immensely.
Right. It means we practically can apply it at home also for elderly, right, sir?
Yeah, so like just about uh, making them listen to their music that they loved, and the calming music, or rather just a small walk in the woods or in the garden or in the nature, or simple acts of gardening, planting a tree or smelling a flower, can definitely ignite or rather heal through different sensory inputs. So these are the different benefits of being amidst nature, or the use of non pharmacological interventions. So
Great, sir. And in the
I also mentioned that in England they are prescribing nature, be amidst nature, so nature therapy. So this is the current strategy which has been followed in as even in NHS England.
right, sir. So in the end of the session, I would like to know that long-term benefits of it.
So long-term benefits, all the stress-related diseases, then having mental well-being, emotional well-being, then uh, preventing stress, cardiovascular events in the future, and also keeping a calm mind, which is the essence of a senior to heal better especially during the chronic illnesses. So all these are the immense benefits of non-pharmacological interventions, and in the long run, if these can be implemented in India at large to large number of seniors who are experiencing aging process and the diseases related to the aging, I would definitely mention that this is the way forward, because the side effects related to drugs can be prevented, and it's readily available in and around the house. So and music we all love and we listen to. If this can be implemented, definitely we can uh, promote active aging and graceful aging.
Right, sir. So we should remember three things. First is intergenerational bonding, like grandfather, grandson, and the second is walking, nature's commitment, nature's bonding, and the third one is music. Right, sir? Anything else I
Yes, ma'am.
forgot?
So yeah, even the reminiscence, laughter and reminiscence therapy. Okay, I didn't mention that, but if there is just half a minute, I would just want to share about that as well. So when we laugh, there are many positive aspects of laughing. You have the muscles of the jaw and the face that are exercised, the lungs, the pectoral muscles, even the muscles of the respiratory. So basically, what happens is when we laugh, we are exhaling, we are inhaling. So the oxygen levels are improving. When we laugh, there are positive hormonal changes which happen, and we heal ourselves by laughing. And when we recall our older days, happy days, we heal better. So this is what every senior should adopt through music, through nature, through laughter, reminiscence, and intergenerational engagement. I wish every senior citizen a happy and a graceful aging through these non-pharmacological interventions too.
Thank you so much, sir, for the session. We are very happy to have you once again, and I would like to have more and more sessions with you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, IAPSM. Thank you, Ritu, ma'am.